So once we've divided it into paragraphs, I'll usually give them a sticky note and I'll tell them to label it with understandings and questions. So as you're reading through the text, they'll be responsible for kind of stopping at certain points and writing down what they're understanding and some questions that they still have. So, like I said, in a third grade classroom, I usually would just give them one highlighter, the black pen and the red pen. And then I make sure that I talk to them about how to use a highlighter because sometimes they will color and fill in other things, and you want to make sure you show them by modeling for them how to just swipe the sentences and through the words. Before I begin reading, I tell them that what we're modeling and what I'm modeling for them is what readers do when we read nonfiction text. We read it differently. We look for certain key words. We're looking for main ideas, and I show them kind of the thought process of what it looks like when you're reading a text. So I'm going to start by reading paragraph 1. I would have this on my Promethean board, and the students would have the text at their seats. And then they're responsible for using the red pen on their own to highlight words or to circle words that they don't know. Once you're done reading the text, and you can kind of look and see, 4 of these kids didn't know what the word colonies meant, so I need to pull those 4 for a mini lesson and talk about what colonies is. There's lots of different kinds of ants: carpenter ants, leafcutter ants, sweet ants, fire ants, and many more. They are different colors too. They can be red or brown or black. Some are very, very small and some are rather big. Whatever their differences, though, all ants are social creatures. So I would probably stop there at that point as to not overwhelm them, and I would say, let's look at what we've read so far. What is important about what we read so far? And I would have them highlight that there's a lot of different kinds of ants, and that they are all, what they have in common is that they're all social creatures. And I would probably have them stop and we would talk about what does it mean to be social. We would maybe jot down some other animals on our sticky note that are social, like dogs, and then we would go back to the text. They live in large groups called colonies, and depending on whether I thought my students knew that word or not, I might would tell them for all of us to circle it, or I would let them choose whether they knew the word or not. Some ant colonies are big and have millions of ants. There are different types of ants in the colony, and they each have different jobs. So I'd probably stop there and have them underline they each have different jobs, because those are all details that are supporting what we're learning about ants. The queen lays eggs. Soldier ants protect the queen and the colony. They also gather food and attack other colonies if they need new nesting space. Worker ants take care of babies, look for food, and build ant homes, ant hills, or mounds. Soldier and worker ants are female. Male ants' only job is to mate with the queen in order to produce eggs, which hatch into baby eggs. So then I would stop there after I read paragraph 1, and I would tell them to write one question about paragraph 1 and tell me something that they really think that they're understanding. Okay, you can go around.